Okay, let's unpack this. We're all sort of swimming in this massive sea of online content, really.
It's overwhelming.
And it's getting harder and harder for, unique voices, specialized messages to actually cut through all that noise.
Mhm.
So today we're doing a deep dive into something really specific, a problem that quite a few people are facing, this visibility crisis,
Hmm.
especially for spiritual entrepreneurs, coaches, practitioners trying to find their audience online.
Yeah, it's a really significant issue and honestly, one that doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah.
You have people pouring their absolute heart and soul into creating these incredibly insightful messages.
Right.
Things about maybe ascension codes or divine feminine frequency,
Yeah.
terms that are like super meaningful within their specific communities.
Sure.
But for search engines and even for potential clients who aren't familiar with that particular vocabulary, it just sounds like, well, like jargon,
Yeah.
cloaked in spiritual jargon, as you said.
And the outcome.
Well, the result is their work, their often sacred work, just stays invisible.
Mhm.
Their SEO efforts don't really land, and the content, however profound, it just doesn't convert, doesn't lead to actual connections or clients.
And when you look at the actual numbers, the scale of this problem is just, well, it's staggering. Get this. Forrester research says something like 93% of all online experiences, they start with a search engine.
93%, wow.
Yeah. And here's the kicker. Less than 1% of people searching on Google ever click past the first page.
Oof. So page 2 is basically nowhere.
Exactly. For these practitioners, being stuck on page 2, it's like being invisible no matter how good their message is. And then there was this 2023 community survey.
Mhm.
It found 85% of spiritual entrepreneurs, they report feeling confused or just totally frustrated with SEO.
Yeah, and that tracks. It's not just a small niche issue. It's a major roadblock for them in this digital world.
And that's where, our deep dive today gets really interesting.
It really does.
Yeah.
Because we're focusing on a potential solution, something
Yeah.
called Magnetica, the SEO Glow AI optimization tool.
Right.
This was actually a submission for a recent hackathon, which is, this space for developing AI tools.
Okay.
And the key thing here is this isn't just like another generic writing assistant.
Yeah.
It's specifically designed to be what the creators call a soulful strategist.
A soulful strategist. I
That's-
like that. So we're going to explore how it kind of acts as this bridge, right, between that sacred, specialized language and practical SEO strategy.
Exactly.
It's built to scan content for that spiritual jargon and then thoughtfully rewrite it, make it clearer, more benefit-driven.
And this is crucial, while preserving the practitioner's authentic voice.
Yeah.
That's key.
Absolutely. And it also suggests, keywords, headers, structure, basically offering a sort of one-click solution to optimize everything from blogs to sales pages.
Yeah, our goal today is really to understand how this compassionate AI solution is trying to make the invisible visible, and why this specific approach is so important now in this super crowded online space.
So what does all this really mean for anyone, trying to get seen online? Let's find out.
Let's do it.
So let's dig into that core problem you mentioned earlier, this visibility crisis for spiritual entrepreneurs. What does that actually look like day to day for them, beyond the stats?
Well, fundamentally, it comes down to a language barrier. It's a disconnect, really, between the language they authentically use within their community and the language the internet, especially search engines, understands. These practitioners, they put so much effort into creating powerful, often life-changing messages.
Yeah.
But the words they use, energetic alignment, shadow work, things like that, while they're precise and really meaningful in their field, they're often too abstract, too niche for, search algorithms to really get.
Great. And maybe too niche for people just starting their search?
Exactly. Someone just beginning might be searching for, say, stress relief or finding purpose, much more mainstream terms. And those spiritual terms might just seem confusing.
So the result is?
The result is their brilliant work just isn't showing up where people are actually looking for help. Their SEO isn't effective, and their content isn't leading to the conversions they need to, keep doing their work.
And the stats we mentioned, 93% starting with search. Almost nobody going past page 1. That just highlights the urgency, doesn't it?
It really does. If your amazing content is stuck on page 2 or 3 because of this language mismatch, it's practically invisible online. It's not just a mischance. It's like it doesn't exist in that digital space.
Yeah.
And that other finding, about 85% feeling confused or frustrated with SEO, it's not because they're ignorant.
No, of course not.
It highlights a deep need. They get that being found is important, but the usual SEO tools and tactics, they often feel, overwhelming or Even worse, totally out of sync with their authentic voice and the sacredness of their message.
So there's this huge opportunity.
Exactly. A huge opportunity to empower them to be seen without making them feel like they have to compromise their message or, sell out their identity.
Which brings us nicely back to Magnetica. You called it a soulful strategist. How does it actually manage that really tricky balance, keeping the authenticity while optimizing for Google and, well, other search engines?
So Magnetica is set up as this AI-powered SEO scanner and optimizer, but with that compassionate angle. It tackles the language barrier head-on. First, it does something called an aura scan.
An aura scan, okay.
Yeah, think of it like a quick SEO health check for your content. It gives you a clarity score. How well can search engines see your message right now?
Got it.
Then, its main job is the jargon decoder. This pinpoints those vague or, overly spiritual terms. And then it thoughtfully replaces them with phrases that are search-friendly and focus on the benefit to the reader. It's not just simplifying, it's really translating.
Okay, so it's not just saying here's a problem, it's actively offering a solution, a translation. That seems like a really important difference.
Precisely. And then the optimization engine takes that clearer content and rewrites it, making sure it follows current SEO best practices for platforms like Google, Gemini, ChatGPT, Perplexity.
The big ones.
Right. It also has memory and persistence, so the tool remembers who you are and where you were, letting you pick up easily. And here's a cool detail. It uses a persona layering system.
Persona layering.
Yeah, it delivers the optimized content in the specific voice of Magnetica itself, which is designed as this kind of mystical yet super strategic AI guide.
That persona part is really fascinating. It makes the AI feel less like just a cold tool, more like a supportive guide.
Exactly. More intuitive.
So stepping back from the how it works technically, what's the bigger strategic idea behind Magnetica? What's the fundamental problem it's really trying to solve here?
The absolute core issue Magnetica tackles is this. Many spiritual businesses struggle with conversions because their authentic message is just fundamentally misaligned with how search engines work and how potential clients search for and understand content online.
Okay.
The industry context here, coaching, healing, spirituality, it has its own unique challenges, right?
Yeah.
That jargon-heavy language we talked about.
Yeah.
Often a pretty low baseline knowledge of SEO among the practitioners themselves, and sometimes, limited tech skills too.
Right. They're focused on their practice, not necessarily digital marketing.
Exactly. So the big goal, the overarching aim, is to help these businesses create clear, compelling content that actually ranks well in search results. And that ultimately converts, leading to more organic traffic and, most importantly, more client bookings. It's really about making sure their impact matches their intention.
So it sounds like a really holistic approach. Fixing the language mismatch, sorting out the SEO incompatibility, and making the user experience better all around. How does it guide a practitioner through those steps? What's the sequence?
The path Magnetica lays out is pretty logical. It starts with doing keyword research, but in a way that thoughtfully blends both those spiritual terms and the more mainstream accessible ones.
Okay, finding that middle ground.
Right. Then it moves to rewriting the content, using that clear, benefit-focused language we discussed. After that, it helps optimize the really crucial stuff like metadata, schema markup, headers.
The behind-the-scenes signals for search engines.
Exactly. Those structural cues that tell Google and others exactly what your page is about. And then finally, it assists in adding clear conversion paths, clear calls to action.
Making sure people know what to do next.
Yeah, ensuring that engagement actually leads client bookings, inquiries, list signups.
And for the users, the practitioners themselves, how do they know it's actually making a difference? What are the key success metrics they should be looking at?
Users are guided to track some key indicators. The main one, obviously, is an increase in organic traffic, which they can see using standard tools like Google Analytics.
Sure.
But beyond just traffic numbers, they'd look at engagement metrics. Things like time spent on the page, how far people scroll down, video views if they have them. Stuff that shows the content is actually compelling.
Right, that people are connecting with it.
Exactly. And then, crucially, tracking improvements in conversions, those tangible results. Email signups, workshop registrations, direct client inquiries. It has to translate to real-world impact.
It really does sound like a comprehensive solution. And I think you mentioned there's even a kind of bonus integration, an upsell funnel built in.
Yes, that's right. Once users get their core content optimized using Magnetica, they're invited to sort of continue the journey. There's an offer to join something called the Prompt Garden,
Okay.
which gives them over 200 viral prompts and marketing frameworks. basically designed to help them expand their reach further.
So broadening the marketing strategy.
Precisely. And then there's the light between Oracle, which is described as a spiritual tool for mindset work and inner guidance.
Ah, interesting.
So it creates this really natural kind of holistic progression. You start with the immediate SEO need, move to broader marketing strategy, and then end with deeper soul support for the entrepreneur themselves.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so what does this all mean? We've really gone deep into the vision behind Magnetica, the SEO Glow AI optimization tool. It's a really powerful example, isn't it, of how very specific, compassionate AI can solve a real, often overlooked problem.
Absolutely. It helps spiritual entrepreneurs connect their deep messages with the, let's face it, practical demands of online search.
And critically, without feeling like they have to compromise their voice.
That's the key. And if we zoom out, connect this to the bigger picture, this project really highlights something crucial for all of us right now.
Yeah.
We are genuinely in a new era of AI.
Yeah, no question.
And as Magnetica's creator pointed out, any niche community, any specialized field, really, risks getting left behind unless they have tools that truly honor their unique language, their voice, while also upgrading their digital visibility. This project is such a strong demonstration that real innovation is not just about fancy algorithms. It's fundamentally about alignment. Aligning that authentic voice with smart, search-savvy strategies.
And the creators' own reflections from the hackathon, they really struck me. They noted that innovation happens when you blend intuition with intelligence.
Nice.
And also that clarity is not just a marketing tool, it's a spiritual practice.
Oh, that's powerful. Clarity is a spiritual practice.
Isn't it? And that raises, I think, an important question for you listening right now. How could you apply this idea, this blending of intuition with intelligence, or maybe cultivating clarity as a kind of practice in your own work?
Yep.
Or maybe in your learning?
Yeah, whether it's about crafting your own message or figuring out new technologies, or even just trying to understand complex topics.
Right. There's a really profound lesson here, isn't there? About taking something that feels invisible and finding ways to truly make it seen. What stands out most to you from this deep dive?